Good evening, fellow gyronauts, and a happy New Year's to you. The boys at the field reckon he looks like Gary Glitter. So, the Whippit X, as promised, a build video. The build video is new to me. I've never ever done one before. Well, not as far as I'm aware. I think I did a blade making video about 10 or 15 years ago. Anyway, this is a build video for the Whippit X, which was flown, well, first flown October time, roughly. And it's had lots of flights by different pilots since, and I've had good feedback off everybody who's flown it. It's taken me a few months to do the plans, get them sorted. The first lot have gone out. Hopefully they're with the beta builders, as I like to call them. There's one gone down to Arfen Cristal down in Australia, so hopefully, well, he won't make it to plan anyway. He'll make it out of, I don't know, polystyrene or something. But anyway, here's the build video. I'm going to try and keep it as simple as possible, because it's a simple model. It doesn't need to, need to be too hard. What I'll do first, we'll go through the plans. I'll roughly show you what's what materials you need, and we'll go from there. So thank you. Okay, the plans. We've got two sheets, both A0 size. Got the main sheet, which is sheet 1 of 2, that one, which is basically the main plan views. So if you can open it up. Don't know if you can see that very well. So we've got plan view, side view, front view. There's plenty of information on here. General setting up, how to set it up, flying tips, which I hope, if we get a chance, if the weather's okay, once I've built the second one, you can trim it with me. You can see how I do things and see how I fly it and what to do and what not to do. But basically, that's the first sheet. Got the front in the hang angle there. Basically a standard plan sheet. That one. The second sheet is a template sheet. So we've got all the templates needed to construct. There you go. So I've separated them so you kind of got the 6mm balsa, 1/4 inch, 3mm balsa 1/8 into their separate zones. So we need 6mm balsa, 3mm balsa, and 3mm light ply for those parts at the top. Again, some information there. How to balance the blades, etc. And those are the plates for the delta plates. They're the same as the gyro, and they'll be the same as the gyro 2 as well. These blade routes are a little bit different because I've got ideas of changing the way that the blade works, but for this first version we're going to stick with that. Malcolm at Corwin's got all the templates for this, so he should be beavering away with his CNC router and making these available for everyone. But basically that's it. You've got two plans, plan sheet and a template sheet. Okay. So materials needed. One length of 10 gauge, I think. 10 gauge piano wire. If you're from the UK, if you're from the US, I think it's 1/8 music wire. Yeah, 10 gauge. That's to make the undercarriage with. You also need a little bit, if you want to put it on, see that little tail skid there? You can make your tail skid out of anything really, a bit of ply or whatever. One sheet 2-3mm light ply. There's enough there to make probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 models. 4 lengths of spruce, 1/2 inch by 1/4. 3 for the blades, 1 for the mast. In fact, you can make 2 masts out of what's there. 2 3mm balsa. I think that's 4 inches wide. That's to make the tail plane, the horizontal stabiliser, and the bottom part of the fuselage. You might be able to just use 1, but I got 2 just to help me a bit better. Oh yeah, the tail plane will need. You have to glue 2 pieces together to make it. So, right, what else have we got? 6mm balsa. This is 3 inch length, 3 inch width. Like the fuselage core, the vertical core, and part of the underside, which I'll go through. Again, for the centre core, you have to join 2 pieces together. This is 3 inch wide stuff, but you can use 4 inch. I got this off Martin Thompson. Quite good bolster actually, and it's quite cheap. You ought to check him out on Facebook because you can get some good stuff off him. What else is there? I think that's it. Oh, that's for the blades. So this, I think it was from AliExpress or somewhere like that, but it's just some stuff that I've got that's long enough for the blades, for the trailing edges. And that's it really. So first, I think we will build the bulkhead. Let's go. Okay chaps, the bulkhead. It incorporates the landing gear. It's only a single wire. It's more than strong enough for this application, this model. That's just bent up in the vise really with a hammer. Doesn't take 10 minutes to make. The formers, well, like any of the formers and templates, I cut them out, spray the template with spray adhesive, stick it onto the wood. That way you can easily remove, well, I just put thinners on it, like cellulose thinners, and it just peels straight off. And it doesn't leave any marks on the wood. But there's 5 pieces to the bulkhead. The undercarriage wire is in the middle of the 3 laminations, like, and I'll put that to one side and show you. So that's the two laminations. That's the centre lamination, F1A and F1B. As you can see, the undercarriage pops in there. What I will say, and it makes life easier, is when you put these 2 on, just use a piece of 6mm balsa in there just to get just to size it. There's a 3mm gap at the bottom that kind of slots onto the front of the fuselage when it's done. Very easy. It's straightforward. It's self-explanatory really, but the finished item. There we go. It's a bit like Blue Peter, for those that can remember. Anyway, I'm going to be building 3 models here, but I'm just using all the bits just to show you how it goes together. Well, the next part will be the bottom part of the fuselage, the horizontal piece. The fuselage is like a T. You'll see how it all slots together. So back in a moment. Okay, this is the base of the fuselage, which is the horizontal, the bottom piece. It's made up of 3 laminations. The bottom one, which you have to make first, is B1. You see that? That's for the you need to size that for your MyPad. I mean, I'm using and I highly recommend these if you're in the UK. 4max batteries. I've had some of these now for 6-7 years. Still as good as new. What you need to do is just make sure there's enough clearance. You can do it after if you want, once it's made, but it's just easier to do it now. That's for the servo. I think I'm using MG90s for the rudder servo. Underneath there's a bit of a spacer just to space it out. That's on the template sheet. Anyway, start off with B1 to B2. B2's balsa, it needs to be light balsa, obviously, because it's quite a long moment arm. Everything beyond rearward of the mast needs to be light. So when you choose your balsa, just make it so you make sure it's the light stuff, not any hard stuff, because you'll have problems with the centre of gravity. So once that's right, obviously, that goes on there like that. B3. The slot there at the back is for the underfin and tail skid. And then there's two B4s. These can be a bit fiddly to cut out. These are from 6mm balsa. So you can make them a little bit bigger, glue them on, and then just sand it all level after any. So they go on there like that. What there should be is a 6mm gap. Again, you can use 6mm pieces of balsa just to size it. And when it's finished, it looks like that. Oh, I forgot to mention I've marked it on the plan. That's for the battery connect, well, the speed controller's connector to go through, and obviously connect up to the LiPo. There are holes there as well, but they're just like pilot holes at the moment. What they are, they're just for rubber bands to hook in, to hold the battery. But that's that. It didn't take long to make, did it? Right, next will be the fuselage, the vertical piece, which is even easier. Sorry, I have to keep repositioning my camera. Right, the vertical fuselage is made in two pieces, but when you make them, when you cut them out using the templates, you need to put together two pieces of 6mm balsa, 3 inch wide or 4 inch wide, it doesn't really matter, but you need to butt them up to be able to make them. V1 is obviously the front, so that's laminated together with two V3s. It's a little bit tricky in that you really want to use the top edge as your alignment, because at the bottom you need 6mm protruding of the balsa core, and I think it's 3mm at the front. So those holes there are for your servo wires and everything else that goes from one side to the other, whichever side you decide to put the receiver in your electronics. But here's one finished, which is easier to see. See the 6mm, and you can see it, and the 3mm at the front. That will slot into the bulkhead, and that slots into the bottom of the fuselage that we just made. The thing to do is, when you've made this, do not glue it into the fuselage, because it makes covering really awkward, but we'll go through that at the covering stage. So that's that. That's V2. Not really a lot you can say about that. You can see where the joint is. There's a slot at the back for the tail plane, and that'll just, when it's done, it slots into there like that, and the mast slides down in there. But again, you don't really want to fit that until it's been covered. So that's that. So next, we'll look at the tail plane, which is even easier. Right then, the tail plane, it's all made from 3mm balsa. Again, keep it light. There's only three pieces to it. There's little finlets that go on the end. Again, you have to laminate what I'm on about. Butt joint, a couple of sheets together. That was one that I did, but it's warped for some reason. I think it got damp. Anyway, they slot in to each side. I've added these for a bit of extra vertical area, because obviously I've eliminated the normal fin that goes there. But that just slots in there like that, you can see. Yeah, nothing to it. I haven't done it on any of mine, but I know others will do it on theirs, and it's probably a good idea. Is to put, and I've added it to the plan as well, is to put some triangular balsa section under there just to give it a bit of rigidity. Like I say, I've not had a problem with mine, but it is wise to do it really. So you just got to make sure everything's straight, you know, keep everything parallel. As long as it's parallel, you're not going to get any trim adjustments. So that's the tail plane. Again, that can be put to one side ready to cover. There's not a lot else really. I'll show you the mast. I'll show you the mast and the underfin and the rudder. Back in a moment. Right then, the mast and the rudder. Start with the mast. That's made from 6mm by 12.5 spruce, which is basically a quarter by ½ inch. Easy enough to cut out with a coping saw and file it to get the shape. There are 2 holes that go in it, but I've left those off. They'll be marked and drilled into this, and then once it slides in, I'll just drill through. Just easier. Oh, wrong bit. So to the top of the mast, obviously I use the cool wind head to make it thick enough so that there's, you know, it's a nice fit into the head. It's faced each side with anything 0.8mm really, anything hard, you know, like birch ply, glass fibre. I've used carbon fibre sheet, but you can use anything really. What I've done, as with all my models, you see the angles are opposing, just so it doesn't create a shear point really. That's it. The rudder is just 6mm balsa. Obviously I haven't tapered it, but I will taper it back. And it's hinged with the normal pin hinges or mylar hinges, whatever floats your boat. Obviously I've drawn on the templates, on the fiberglass parts, a little rudder horn. It's a bit fiddly to make, but luckily for you, Malcolm at Cool Wind, he's going to supply all these if you want to go down there. I mean, you could use like control horns or anything really for that. But that, apart from the blades, is all that's to it. I mean, 2 or 3 nights you can get all this cut out and glued together and put together, and you know, have something that looks like a Whippit X. So what I'll do now, I'll just kind of put it together just to show you what it looks like. Well, you know what it looks like, but show you how it goes together really. So I'm going to go and get some masking tape to hold it together, and I'll be back. The masking tape's disappeared into thin air, like that elusive 10mm socket that you always lose when you're working on your car. Anyway, I've got some duct tape. So this is how it goes together. Right. What I didn't show you when we were building this, and I apologise for that. Can you see how the 3mm light ply front piece protrudes 3mm? That's so it can slot into the kind of interlocks into the front form of the bulkhead, like so. If it works and I don't drop it, like that. See it? Excuse my building. And into the front slots, the front former, I can't remember what it was called now, V2 is it? Anyway, that assembly, the one with the 6mm sticking out underneath the core and the 3mm at the front, that kind of slots in, and the 3mm slots into the bulkhead like so. The mast obviously goes in there. That's set back at 5 degrees, so the cool wind head, when that's on, it's set at 90 degrees, but we'll do a video on that in the setting up video. The rear fuselage slots in just like that. What I didn't show you before was V4. That's the underfin stroke tail skid. That just slots into there like so. The tail plane, you've already seen, slots into there like that. Rudder hinged on the back. And that is basically it. A couple of nights worth cutting, a few hours assembling, and you'll be there. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to probably take me a couple of weeks to get it done, but I'm going to rub it all down, cover all the bits separately, and then we'll kind of do an assembly video of how that goes together and why I've covered it, because it's just easier really to cover before you put it together, because I'm not the best at covering. So anyway, that's it. That's build video number 1 out of the way. I hope you enjoyed it. There's not a lot to it. Anyway, there we go. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Cheers. See you soon.